Alright. So since y'all are talking so much about how they just don't want me here and it's my own fault for being a piece of trash that doesn't deserve a home, I thought we should talk about the fact that a lot of people actually are against Section 8 housing. Now, my particular inspection yesterday was not because the inspector that's working for the housing authority wants to evict me, but let's be honest about the fact that a lot of people don't want homeless people to be housed. Let's talk about the fact that recently there were plans to put up a new apartment complex, a whole new building, just to house people on Section 8, like me. It would have housed 1,100 people, and it was canceled because there was a petition raised by 300 other people saying, we're families and we don't want this building here. We don't want these people here. You don't want them on your street, but you also don't want them in your apartment complex. And you don't want them to have their own complex because you don't understand homelessness and you think it's all criminals. I've been here for 4 years and have yet to commit a crime here. And yet, you still treat me like I'm nothing but a worthless criminal that should just die on the streets. Not all homeless people are there because they are drug addicts or because they are criminals or because they're bad people who simply like being outlaws. There are a lot of people who are living on the streets because of mental health disorders, or because they simply can't work, or because they are addicted. But it doesn't make them a bad person. Y'all know my grandmother had me addicted to medications when I was 13. Y'all understand that I was born with marijuana in my system, and at 13 my grandmother started giving me her sedatives. I will likely have drug addiction problems for the rest of my life. And they started because I was taking things that were given to me by people who were in charge of me when I was younger. That's not a choice. The addiction issue I have are not choices. They were put on me by my elders, and I now live with them. There are a lot of people on the streets just like that. Mental health disorders, drug addictions, things they really can't control. But you look at them and think that they're bad people and they must deserve to be there. It's frustrating. It's frustrating being in that position where you have nothing and you're just trying to survive, and it feels like everybody is against you because the way you're surviving is wrong, but you don't know how to survive their way because you weren't raised by the way that they were raised and given the same opportunities and the same things that they were given. Neither were they given the same things you were given. Half the people watching me were not given sedatives as children. Half the people watching me were not born in a car with marijuana in their system. Because you don't have that experience, you don't know what it does to the brain. And you don't understand how it just sticks around and stays with a person, and that want and need to just feel better. But you can't, because all the serotonin has been wiped out of your body from drug use as a child that your parents gave you. And no, that's not everybody's situation. Yes, there's a lot of people out there that have chosen to be drug addicts as adults, that had perfectly fine childhoods and just chose to be drug addicts. There are people out there that have had perfectly fine childhoods and just chose to be criminals. There are people out there that had perfectly fine childhoods and just chose to be criminal, bad people. But it doesn't mean that every single person out there is. Because there's a lot that are out there that are like me, that are just mentally ill and need help. The problem is the judgment. And there are people who have taken my content and used it to judge me. When this all began, the people taking my content, they said, this person is lying about their mental health conditions because they want to be homeless. This person is homeless because they're lazy and stupid and they're choosing this. And so you should never, ever, ever, ever feel bad for them because it's all their choice. But it was never my choice. They lied about my mental health conditions in order to blame and judge me. They lied about the drugs that I was actually addicted to blame and judge me. I smoke marijuana. I'm open and honest about that. I don't do anything else. I smoke marijuana and I don't do anything else except take the medications that my doctor prescribes to me for my psychiatric disorders. But the people that are attacking me will never believe that because they've never seen somebody who smoked marijuana and acted the way I did. Because they've never seen somebody in real life who was mentally unwell. And they keep thinking that if they keep pushing and pushing, my behavior will change because they don't understand that mental health, some things just kind of loop. It just repeats. It doesn't change. You don't move out of your space to get away from the people that are hurting you because you don't know how. That's why there are people that are supposed to help us. They put me in this apartment because I don't know how to do it on my own. So to have the inspector come and be angry and treating me like I do know how is a frustration. And it's not one that I should have to deal with because this person works specifically on Section 8 apartments. They know the people that they're going to talk to are not healthy, hardworking individuals who can easily communicate and handle things. She only works with Section 8s.